Hey everybody, how y'all doing? This is Rashida here. I'm here for the Garden Girls chat and chew, and we're talking about garden memories on today. But good evening, good evening. All the ladies are otherwise engaged. So Jacqueline is enjoying her weekend, right? Lisa, Cynthia, Shelly are indisposed momentarily, but as they get free, they're going to join in. I have probably within the last hour gotten home, but if I sit down too long, I might fall asleep. And so I was like, let me get on and get on, even if I have to get on by myself. It's a chat and chew. Hey, GT. Hey, Jennifer. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is what I'm chewing on. Cheerios, Oat Crunch, almond. I picked these up at Aldi a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, that's what I needed, something to eat at the church. And then as I was sitting here, I remembered, I think I got some ribeye in there. Maybe. So if you're sitting here, planning on watching us tonight and chatting and chewing with us, what are you chewing on tonight? Chips and dip, which is really what I had taste for. I had some chips here, no dip. I have a leftover tea here from the other night, but I started drinking it and my stomach didn't like it. And then I have some water. So welcome to the Garden Girls. They used to be Garden Friends, now it's Garden Girls chat and chew. And we're talking about garden memories for Memorial Weekend. My name is Rashida Monique. I am in Michigan Zone 6A. I garden in this zone. I garden in ground, in pots, and in grow bags, and in raised beds. Currently, my garden is growing whatever was in there last fall. That's what's going on there. I made a decision about the garden. You know, I was saying I was getting people to come help and plant and do this, but who gonna go out there and water it and weed it and harvest it? All right. So I'm just gonna trust God and just let it be. And if I get back to it for fall gardening, great. If I don't, great. I feel like I got glitter all over me, and I don't know where that glitter come from. Oh, y'all like my earrings? These were gifted to me by Shamir. Okay. But anyway, so yeah, I garden in Michigan Zone 6A. Our goal for today was to talk about garden memories of old or memories we want to make in our garden spaces now. If you were on, I don't know if it was 2 weeks ago or I think it was 2 weeks ago, when we talked about how previously growing food was a point of oppression and a point of angst for a lot of people, and how it is amazing how we can go back and find joy in a thing that previously was used to oppress And so some of us are wanting to make memories in the garden. When we talk to people that are grandparents, they want to let their grandchildren find joy in the garden with them. They want to create memories with them. They want their children to find the joy in growing something. Like Lolita says, you may not grow everything, but you can grow something. You might want to create a space of solace and solitude, or peaceful bliss in your backyard, like Shelly. And you want it to be a space that you walk into and you can decompress from your day. Those are memories there. You hear about people that has been gardening for a long time, and people like Jacqueline that have been growing food for a long time, that have memories with their children, or memories with their family from long ago. Now, we were going to have pictures. Somebody was going to do a slideshow. I wasn't going to do one, but somebody was going to do a slideshow. That did not happen, y'all. So we're trying to see what today's going to be about. And the funny thing is, I start going through my pictures, my cloud save pictures, and I'm like, I think I archived a lot of my old photos and videos from my first couple of gardens at my apartment complex, because I wanted to share them with you. But I could not find them. So that's not what's going to happen today. Cici said, not me. No, I wasn't going to do a slideshow, but I was going to airdrop a couple of pictures to the computer and just sort of kind of share them. But as far as a slideshow or some kind of presentation, that sounded like too much work for me. I do this thing because I enjoy it. And when I do things that make it seem like work, I don't want to do it, so I don't. And that's basically how it's been rolling, because I want this to be a place of joy. I don't want it to be a burden or another task to do. Cynthia says she almost home. So gardening. So I don't have a lot of memories. I do know that my grandparents had a garden. My grandparents in New York had a garden, only because I knew that sometimes they brought greens in, but I didn't go back there and work with them in it or anything like that. My grandmother down south, I'm pretty sure she grew food. I definitely did not go out in that Alabama heat and work the garden with her. I'm like, no. When we went down there, it was just for the week or two to do whatever and come back home. So we did not work a garden with her. My godmother grew food, even though she worked a job that was strenuous and taxing, but she grew tomatoes and greens. I did not work in the garden with her either. But I do remember witnessing her canning of tomatoes and different things. And I'm like, why in the world is she canning when she could just go to the store, right? Because at this time, you think about it, we're in the city, we're in the vehicle city, right? Flint, Michigan, vehicle city. A lot of people are in shop jobs and different jobs and this and the other. So things are, what do you want to call it? Accessible. People's incomes have come up. So I'm wondering, why is she still, well, no, not gonna say still, why is she canning tomatoes? And I really think not just tomatoes, but growing greens and vegetables. It's just like, why? especially with her working that way. But it wasn't that big question for us to have a discussion about. It's just something that she did until she didn't. But she also grew a lot of flowers, even when she left that job and became a nurse, built her home. She always had her hands in dirt with flowers, and having a plot with tomatoes and greens. I do believe she had greens. I don't know if she had tomatoes. I'm trying to think back. But anyway, but I have memories of her canning those memories. And those are few memories, but they are yet memories. I miss that woman, right? I miss that woman. And on June the 13th, she will have been gone for 8 years. And some days it's that pain is as fresh as it was yesterday or today. My dad gardened, and I don't know what years he gardened or how long he gardened, but he would do tomatoes, collards, mustards, turnips, cabbages. So it wasn't a great variety, but he grew some things. And I also know that those last collards and cabbages of the season would be out there till the first frost to get them tender, them leaves tender. And yeah, and that's what I remember. I love fresh tomatoes. I love I love the fresh bell pepper, even though they don't love me now at this age. Cucumbers, I like fresh cucumbers. All those things I liked. My dad growing, and when he stopped growing them, it's one of the things I knew that my parents were really getting older. That really drove home that they were getting older. And that's one thing I missed. And then I went to start going my own in my apartment building because I didn't want to pay what the store was asking for when I was used in the summer to having quote unquote free vegetables, squash, cucumber, tomato, greens. I was used to it, okra. So yeah, so that's how I got started, those memories. Thinking about even some of the people that didn't really garden but had food. One of our church mothers, Mother Applewhite, had a pear tree in her backyard. A pear tree in her backyard. Another church mother, Mother Jones, had a muscadine vine or vines. I don't know if it was one or several growing up her fence in the city. And so just remembering like these foods and these things that were grown, and it brings back not just memories of those, but even those that we love. My grandfather, my mom's dad, took a tire and made a planter out of it, and it still today holds herbs in it. They have garlic chives. I do want to say it might be a little dill in there, but I think it's mostly chives. And we put them in there one year. We harvested them. Didn't really know what to do with them, and they've been in there ever since. And so every year those chives just come back up. And so we got a little bit of Big Daddy around here. Also, we call it a cabbage plant. I'm not sure if that's the proper term for it that we got from Big Daddy that Mama put out front of our house that borders the flower bed. And then we took a piece of that and then we put it around our flower bed out front here, and it comes back every year. It is resilient. and you don't have to do nothing to it. We are not fertilizing it. We ain't cutting it back. We're not doing anything. It's just there all summer. It grows pink flower-ish. I don't know, pinkish, purplish flowers, and goes to seed, and it comes back next year, and we don't do anything to it. Not a thing to it. And so, like, these stories of growing, and then not even just my memories. You guys ever sit and talk to the elders, right? And you listen to their stories. And so I'm thinking about Ruby Kid. That's my Fred. Talk about growing up in the South and how her dad, they had the mule and they would plow and plant food and grow food. She was talking today about getting them potatoes, and she said it seemed like them potatoes didn't even want to end. They'd have to harvest potatoes and harvest all these different foods, and just the memories of things that she did with her family, for her family. And so those things bring about memories. Hey, Cynthia, welcome to the Alright Girls Chatting Chew.
Girl.
Because I've been talking and I've been struggling and I've been talking. But I was like, if I don't get online, I'm going to go to sleep. If I don't get online.
You should have stayed that out a little longer to pray for every one of us today.
Girl, listen.
It's been a day.
This is what I was chewing on earlier. I'm done, though. But go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey, Cici. Well, I am Cynthia from Cici's Texas Garden, and I wore out from this crawfish kickback, but I'm here. I'm in zone 8B, 9A in Texas, and grow in ground, in containers, indoors. Got a lot of things that I've been harvesting because we have been in the 90s. So it has been very hot here. So it keeps us busy in the garden and trying to stay cool in the garden. So come check out my channel. And I'm going to share it out.
Okay. What you eat at the crawfish? What was it? Kickback? Crawfish kickback?
Yeah.
So you put your feet up and ate some crawfish?
Crawfish, girl. Crawfish.
What that, girl? Go ahead and send it out first. Yes, then I might have you talk. Because I know sometimes it's hard to talk and talk.
Right.
Talk and type. GT probably, I'm glad somebody else on here because she was just talking.
Oh, goodness.
This girl is struggling today. I mean, I knew we had an afternoon program at my church, but we usually get out a little earlier.
Oh.
And it happened today.
Yeah. Yes, I had crawfish. Well, the first night we had fish. We had fish the first night, which was Friday.
Wait a minute, that's Friday. I want to say how many nights was it? Go ahead. Okay.
Oh, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So Friday was the fishing competition, which your girl won because they can't beat me in the water. I'll snag some fish up out of there.
Girl, so, you go ahead.
Every time I put it in there, I kept on that. There goes Cici pulling another one out. Yep. And did. Hey, and did. So I wound up winning, which let's see. I don't have it. Oh, I may have it in here. I'm trying to look for my I think I won. See if I can show y'all.
Time. You got time.
I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, the fish
got a part of it.
A ride and reel. I can't see
ride and reel. I won that. Bragging rights, of course. And I'm supposed to be getting a plaque. So, yeah. that was fun. That was Friday. And then Saturday was the big meetup, for everybody to come in town and stuff like that. And then we had crawfish and then barbecue or on the grill chicken for ones that didn't want crawfish. And then Sunday today was thank you, Jamia. Today was eating breakfast before everybody leave out, but I didn't go to that today. I was like, I'm headed home.
So was that a specific garden group or what?
Well, it's not. Well, majority are gardeners, but it's just YouTubers, because different people do different things on their channel. So, but yeah.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you and I never said I was doing no slideshow, but my goal was to get some pictures off of Instagram and sort of kind of share.
My art.
But girl, I can't find none of that stuff on Instagram or in the cloud. So I mean, that I saved it to. So
hey, happy.
I'm trying to go back to like my first garden.
Not me, Happy Mac. Tails only.
Happy Mac was like,
hey, broke. Tails only for me.
No, she said no.
Hey, Denzel.
Hey y'all, come on in.
Hey,
so, since you wasn't doing a slideshow, Cynthia said she wasn't doing no homework. I said it's not too much like work presentation, but somebody else want to do it, I'll let you. But me, as for me, I'm not doing it. So
thank you for checking me too that day because
you came in hot. I was like, dang, girl.
I was. I had just came from outside. I had been out in the heat. I'm like, what the heck is this?
Cynthia was like, I ain't doing. I'm like, you ain't got to.
Well, I was listening on the way coming. Hey, Netta, because I feel the same way like you. I don't want it for me. I feel like I don't want a garden chat or whatever that it start feeling like it's a job or feeling like, okay, we got to have these topics and this, that. We're just gardeners enjoying talking about gardening things. Yeah, it's okay to have like a subject to kind of go around, but I don't want to feel like I'm in school. I never liked the school. Don't listen to little kids if you're listening because my channel is anyway. But no, your girl did not like school.
I didn't like the school. I didn't mind the school, but
I didn't like the school. I didn't want to go to school, and I definitely didn't want to do the work.
What memories? Like, so your mother didn't garden, correct? Did your mother have a garden growing up?
Okay, this is the thing. My grandma, I remember she would have something. I remember she had chickens because we would go out there to, I would go in the coop with my mom and then when they would grab some eggs out there. I remember her in her head scarf out there with the hoe making some lines in the dirt. I didn't know exactly what was going on because I wasn't paying attention. I was too busy playing with my cousins. My mom had a garden. But pretty much with her garden, she just threw seeds out there and whatever grew. She was not one of the ones that, how some people just, they don't have to really work on trying to garden and they just, things just happen. So I remember she had so many cucumbers and that was handing out cucumbers to people, like at the church or whatever. But as for memories of gardening, no, none of that. I started gardening because I was like, you know what? I want to see if I can grow something. It was just on a whim, Now, my great grandfather, from what my mom them said, because he died 3 years before I was born, but he grew sugar cane, he grew watermelons, he grew, all the stuff from the South. He's from Louisiana,
Mm-hmm.
and so he grew a lot of stuff and handed out a lot to people. And people that my cousins that's older than me, hey PIA, you love school. That's where the girls were. Oh, okay, broke. uh, but so I never was, exposed to that with him or learning anything about it. So
Okay.
yeah.
So, what is one of your
Hey Cassandra.
early gardening memories that either okay, I'm gonna give you two. One is gonna be your roughest gardening moment when you first started, and then the one that said, you know what, I think I can do this.
Okay. Hey, let me speak to folks coming in. Hey, Cool Gamer,
Mm-hmm.
Wanda Allen.
Hey y'all.
Um, so roughest for me. Well, I don't know if it was the roughest for me, but it was like I needed to learn more about what I was planting
Mm-hmm.
instead of just being like, okay, it's a tomato. It's a tomato seed. Because I was living in an apartment when I started. Most of my gardening career was container gardening on
Okay.
patios because I lived in apartments. And I had dropped some indeterminate tomato seeds, and I was like, oh, these tomatoes are growing and growing and growing past my little patio area. It's like starting to be like I'm like, what is wrong? I didn't realize there's a difference between indeterminate and determinate tomatoes. So I had like a tomato forest out on my patio. I'm just like, okay, this is overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't planning for that. So that would kind of stress me out. I was giving them away to people. But I think one of my, well, it's two things that really got me. When I first got a real potato harvest, I was like, I'm a farmer. No one
Mm-hmm.
can tell me I am not a farmer. I just grew potatoes. That was just my when I
You can't tell me
can't
nothing.
tell me nothing. I am now officially a farmer. And I was excited. I'm like, I grew these. This is like I grew these. And so that, and when I figured out how to grow carrots, I could not figure out some things for nothing. I was like, what is this? I would pull a little bitty thing, and I was just like, I got to figure this out. And so yeah, when I figured out how to grow carrots, and when I became a farmer after potatoes, to me, I'm a farmer.
Okay. Mm. What was I'm talking about memories.
Mm-hmm. Hey, God's desire.
Who was one of your first hey guys desire, hey everybody.
Hey,
I know she been
Selena.
calling everybody out. Hey everybody.
Hey, everybody.
Who was your first garden friend? The one person, because you would talk to people about your garden, they be like, uh-huh, uh-huh. But the one person you talk to them and they be like, yeah, girl, let me tell you.
Huh. My first garden friend. I have to come back to that one. I don't know who was. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, that threw me. Trying to think.
First gardening event
First
that you attended.
gardening event.
That you attended.
I guess. Well, first garden event I ever attended. I want to say it was when me and my bestie went to the plant exchange, because I had never been to nothing
Mm-hmm.
plant really related And so that when we went to the plant exchange, that was my first time like experiencing, trading plants or that kind of stuff. Because I never was the type that now I went to the home and garden. That was the first time I went to a home and garden like plant event. But no, I had never been interested in going to see anything about plants. I was just like, I'm just growing my food.
God's Desire says her sister. Netta's Nest said her mom. Serena, be safe. Thunderstorms and floods. Let me see. Well, when I started gardening in my apartment building, there were people. I met some new neighbors. Well, the neighbor behind underneath me. How did I meet her? I think I met her in the parking lot. She's like I'm gonna call her sassy older lady. Like she's 70 years old, still working, walks every day. Walks every day. Right. And she had tomatoes, and so we would talk. And then one of the gentlemen, don't ask me what his name is now, but he lived out there, but he grew greens and cabbages, and he had some of the biggest heads of cabbage I have ever seen in my life. Now, he will put something on them. I don't know if it was 7. I don't know if it was diatomaceous earth. But what I did, it probably was 7 because he ain't had no holes in them cabbages. It probably was 7. But them was some big old them was some big old cabbages, and I was like, oh my God. But yeah, I think those were some of the first people outside of my family,
Yeah.
When Daddy found out I was doing the garden, he came over there, tried to tell me what to do. He wasn't doing it. He come tell me what to do, whatever. But outside of family. And then even then when I would hop on not Facebook, what is this thing we on YouTube right now? Thank you. I didn't I really was searching for a whole bunch of stuff, right? Usually it's like I had a question, let me look it up. Right. But I wasn't into any communities or anything like that. So that didn't happen until I moved over here and started gardening. So that had to be 2023. Girl, listen, these years is rolled together.
I know. Aren't they?
They roll together. I didn't answer you, Serena. I'm just not answering you in your time. Okay, God's Desire says she's in the chat knitting and listening.
Okay.
And if y'all snacking, share your snack. What's another question about our garden memories? So we talked about that. So now that you have your garden, let's talk about this garden vision. Is your garden shaping up to the vision you have in your head?
I don't know what my vision is.
Well, if you didn't have a vision in your head,
I just kept expanding. Hey, Mona.
Hey, Mona.
The more I was like, well, I need a little more space to grow this. Well, because I know people have watched, because this channel now, January make 3 years. But it started from just a little patch if I can just grow a little bit of stuff. And then I was like, well, I need a little more space to put this little stuff and a little more, So I do know that I want to eventually have a nice fence, like closed in, can't see through fence. Just because my garden is across from a business, and not that anything, but you just don't want to have it in people's head, be like, I know where we can go get some groceries.
Girl, listen. So the lady downstairs, I talked about the little old lady downstairs from me. She was like, hey, do you look outside at night? I said, no. She said, there's a guy. She said, I swear he goes from garden to garden. She said, because I know what tomatoes I have on my plant, and I go up in the morning and they're gone. And I'm like, had no idea. Yeah. But I do know people. Yeah. And sometimes I don't think they're in need. I think it's just because it's readily available, and they be like, "Oh,
Uh-huh.
I can go get that," and they go take it.
This weekend, I kid you not, this weekend we went through fields when we was going
Amen.
back and forth to the park, fields of corn, like corn everywhere, like fields of corn. Those corns was ripe. They was all tilted to. I was like, what is stopping people? It's so close to the road, and it's like acres of corn. I'm thinking,
Mhm.
what is stopping people from just grabbing some corn? What is,
Mhm.
it's no
No, and
fishing out here.
and
It's
my
no,
my dad
ain't
always
no,
told us, "Plant enough for you, the animals, and a stranger." That's what he taught us.
oh my
But
gosh.
some of these strangers don't know how to have some kind of sense. When I was watching Kim Cozy's Corner, and they came and took all her peaches off the tree. Now, you know that ain't your peach tree.
Mm.
You could at least there for 5 or 6 of the peaches. You had to take them all.
Mama said, see, they wouldn't stop so I can grab some. I know, Mama, they were, I was like, what is to stop? They were so beautiful, big, fat,
Mm-mm.
just ready. They were,
Girl,
oh
listen.
my gosh.
When I saw us was watching Veggie Boys,
Mm-hmm.
and that bear they showed you where the bear was sitting out there eating that corn. I said,
Yes.
let me tell you what I won't be doing. You won't find me out there just wandering through some corn stalks.
No,
Cause
no,
me and Buddy Bear don't get along.
no. Hey, Miss J.K. Gardner. Yeah, Netta
Mm-mm.
said, I'm like Cici, my garden keeps expanding. I'm trying so hard not to take over the entire yard.
Mhm.
I feel the same way because especially I live at home here with my mom and she does not help me with the garden at all. So I'm trying to respect space that I don't look like I'm taking over the yard because when she have people come over or whatever, I don't want them to be like having to go through a garden to get to a front door.
Right,
So
right.
I'm
Hmm.
trying to keep it in a respectful amount of space, but yet I need more growth space. I do.
Right.
Hey, cargo hustler.
Um, and I'm with you and Netta. It's like I just keep adding on piece by piece. Now, in my mind's eye, when I first started, if I could have done like I wanted to, um, I'd had it all plowed up.
Mhm.
But the way I am now, I'm glad I didn't. Because who wants to get on the ground? That's all I'm saying. But I mean, but even if it was, I could still put raised beds out there, with
Mhm.
it being plowed up. But I'm still just like really just adding on as I go. Seeing what I want to grow or even keep growing. Because everything I ain't gonna keep growing. You know what I'm saying? I tried the green tomatoes. I ain't about to keep growing that. Well, I probably got some out there now, but that's not by choice. But uh I'm not gonna keep growing that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Jamie said she's going to expand. She
Yep, she
knows she's
knows she
about
gonna
to
expand.
expand. Mona about to take up her deck before she can expand. And
See?
honestly, if this is my thing, if I could, I would like to rearrange my garden.
Mm,
But because I have things growing at different times and they come, I if I could, I would take everything out of the garden and then plow it all really nice. Then organize how I want the beds all set up and have my little, just
You
make
have
it
to do
look
it. You have to do it in the dead of winter. But y'all winter don't last that long, so you got to be organized and ready.
winter is my best
Exactly.
time. But winter's the best time. That is all the greens. That is the cabbages. That's all the brassica. Because
Girl, you have your bestie grow them greens and brassicas that winter. And be like, look, girl, give me some of them because I need to rearrange. Or you can do them in pots. Or you can do them in pots.
but did
I'm
you
just
see?
saying.
Did you see my cabbage? I'm growing a whole
Mm,
thing of them. I want
girl,
some of them cabbage. I want them huge cabbages in each one of the beds. I want them
the
huge.
big old
I want some half body size cabbages again.
That is hilarious.
But
Listen.
see, this is the thing. I put in my brassicas, and I know people are like that is not the season. I put my stuff in the ground in my raised beds outside in July.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I put them in July because they still get that heat, and it's not.
Mm-hmm.
I put shade cloth,
Mm-hmm.
but that's how I was able to harvest in October and November with cabbages and mustard greens and all those kind of things because I don't wait till the season where you know they say in quotes when you need to plant this. I done figured out what works for me in my garden
Mm-hmm.
and Texas weather. So yeah.
Yeah. And that's the thing about learning your zone. And there's a lot of things we can get from other people, but when you I'm going back, y'all. I'm just trying to see something, but this has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. But when you learn your zone, you learn more how when to plant.
Yeah.
Um, Especially when you're talking about your brassicas.
Mm-hmm.
Earlier I was talking about how my dad would have cabbage collards and cabbages in the flower bed, and they'll be out there to
Mm-hmm.
first frost
Yeah.
because that's when your collards get tender. It's the
Yes.
first frost, and so he would
Mm-hmm.
leave some out there, and even cabbages. But you had to be careful with them cabbages, because one year we lost a couple of them big old
Mm-hmm.
cabbages.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But you learn your zone
Right.
as you go.
Mm-hmm.
Netta said we gotta do spring cleaning. I'm doing it now. Girl, go ahead and spring clean.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I was telling them earlier, Cynthia, I don't know if you was on early when I was saying I've decided, oh, that's for you. I was wondering if that's the same message she sent me earlier and she's talking about you didn't answer because I'm not. Um
Okay.
Sounds so rude, but it's just this the way it is. Um,
Hey, Devil Dog.
I was trying to say something. So,
Yes, Devil
but
Dog
that's what I was saying earlier
hangs on
about
with me.
my garden is that that I said I'm not gonna have anybody help me plant anything in the garden because who's gonna come water it? Who's gonna come weed it? Who's gonna go come fight aphids or green worms or whatever, and who gonna harvest it? You know what I'm saying? It's not just getting it in the ground, And even though
Right.
I thought I would be able to, I'm not, and so it's just like I'm just gonna be okay. I'm just gonna be okay with it. Um, and my guys are supposed to come tomorrow. Let me tell you about this. See, we're supposed to be revving up to summer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we ain't even got the spring yet. We didn't had 40-degree nights and 50-degree days, 40-degree days. Today high was 66.
Mm.
The low was 39.
Mm-mm.
See?
Nope.
And then tomorrow is Memorial Day. Remember I
Yep.
told you I usually plant myself on Memorial Day. It's gonna be a high of 69, the low of 42.
Oh.
And then it's gonna be 70 on Tuesday. And then Wednesday it's gonna be 60, high of 61 with rain.
Yeah.
Thursday, high of 61 with rain.
PIA is in Michigan as well. So.
Hey, P.I. Oh yeah, she know.
Yep.
No, exactly. So it's like, but my god sister's gonna come tomorrow, and well, maybe because she had an issue with her mom, but I told her, I said, well, we can just go make sure nothing I don't want is growing in there. I know I have some rosemary. I might move some of that rosemary and sage closer to the house.
Okay.
I said, but I ain't trying to do a whole bunch of stuff. If it ain't if whatever something growing out there, let it grow.
Netta says she's in Florida, Zone 10A. Go, Netta.
Yeah, and Devil Dog is, I think Devil Dog is in Florida. Is that what Devil Dog was saying?
No,
And they
he is
burning up.
over here with me. He's
Oh, he over
actually
there with you. Oh,
he
he
in the
your
same
neighbor.
city with me.
Oh, he your okay. Devil Dog is your neighbor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next month it's time to start seeds right shade what am I saying? Start seeds, nightshades to put in the ground by September and harvest October to January. Okay. Yeah, they
Mm-hmm.
have to figure, especially with Netta them being in a hotter climate, they have to
Mm-hmm.
figure now when can I plant any cold stuff? Because they don't really where
No,
they
can't
go.
plant no cold stuff. You got to
They
sit up
do
here.
plant cold stuff, but it's like they do. But
Like,
you have
oh,
to,
no,
yeah,
it's hot already.
yes, yep.
Oh my goodness. I'm trying to think. What else? What's another question as far as guard memory is concerned? Um, how young do you think you were? Well, if you grew up with a garden, I guess you pretty much knew that. I mean, if people talking about garden and people growing things that food come from the earth. Some people don't know that.
But this is the
Well,
thing,
why
like
this stuff so dirty? Because we had to grow it.
I look, I'm gonna be transparent. I was not paying attention to
What?
anything about. I've seen things come out of cans. Now,
Uh-huh.
my grandma, I'm sure she harvests things from the garden and all that, and it was already in the pot when I seen it. I've seen things in cans. So when I started growing things like broccoli, I didn't
Uh-huh.
know it was like a stalk and it got these leaves
Yeah.
and all that. I'm like, I don't know what it looks like as a plant.
Yeah. No, you wouldn't know that.
And just like I was telling my daughter, because she was like, I didn't know broccoli have all the, because when you get in the store, they done cut all the stalks up, they done cut all it down, they done took this
Mm-hmm.
away. And so you don't know, hey Lisa, you don't know what the food look like
Look
when
like
it's
when it
out
grows.
in the field
That's
before they
true.
chop it all up, take the parts they want to use for something else, and you get whatever,
They
they
gonna
want
say
to sell in the store.
now. That is true. That is true. Now I didn't know some stuff was grown, but I didn't know what it looked like.
No,
Okay. Broccoli sprouts had no idea.
right.
Broccoli, broccoli sprouts, Brussels sprouts, broccoli had no idea what it looked like.
Mm.
Um, and I didn't know broccoli was. I didn't know broccoli was a fall or spring plant. I didn't know it grew in cooler weather. So y'all
Mhm.
know I planted my broccoli
In
in
the summer.
June, and I had all these leaves, and I couldn't figure out why I couldn't get no broccoli. And then somebody
I
said, "Well,
got
you
some
eat the
growing now.
leaves," and them leaves are disgusting, huh?
I got some growing now.
Yeah, you got some growing now. It's cool. Yeah, you started earlier, but it's just a growing process. So Miss Lisa's here, y'all. So
Hey.
I ain't got to keep talking to myself. Well, I stopped talking to myself when Cynthia came, but now since we didn't, I sort of almost exhausted this conversation. See, it's easy when it's five of us because it's like
Right.
and I didn't got so used to not having to work for no conversation. Y'all, I used to do a whole 45-minute broadcast by
You did.
myself. No
You did.
problem. Now it's a struggle. Like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Want me to keep talking? But Miss Lisa, thank you for hopping on. We appreciate you for coming on in. Introduce yourself. And since you ain't got no slideshow either, girl, what am I doing no slideshow? We already knew when that question. Miss Jackie, I don't mean no harm. I don't mean no harm. Slideshow would have been great because I'd have sat here. See, the slideshow would cause us not to work. We just be here like,
That's pretty.
But listen, but we not that prepared. But if Jacqueline did, I need to ask her if she did it because she did it. I want to see it.
Hey, J Monique.
But go ahead and introduce yourself, Miss Lisa. After you get, are you working on getting your thing up first?
I
And
think
she
I
just
got it.
did. It just went live.
Okay, it just went live. Okay, good. Um, if you could
All right.
introduce yourself, and then I'll just start asking you some of the questions I asked this other lady over here, Cynthia.
All right. Lisa, and I am in Zone 8A in North Alabama, and I'm gardening in raised beds, in ground pots, containers, you know, everything.
We have
That's it.
two of the ladies. I was
I'm
answering.
like, the two
They
married
know-
ladies ain't here.
Yeah, yeah. I was just gonna say that.
Oh, the two married ladies aren't here. But we will try to pose that question and get back with you, J Monique.
Right.
That thing just tickled me. I'm like, honey, this the wrong one. You gotta wait till all five of us over here because I ain't got no answer for you. I mean, I got an answer for you, but I don't know how helpful that's gonna be for your marriage. But
Oh
it may not be helpful. That might be hard. So I'm gonna keep my answer to myself.
my J3.
Okay, Miss Lisa. Let us get started. What is now, girl? Did she do it again? She did it again.
Did I messed up
My
something?
front, no, my front door is not closed. Oh,
You need to go close it. Ain't it dark now?
huh?
Isn't it dark now? You need to go close your door.
I am. I'm gonna close it. Did you have a family member, or what is your earliest memory about gardening? Was it a family member that was gardening? Did you grow up with a garden? What's your earliest gardening memory?
Uh, my parents gardened, and when I was little, and that's how they fed us. And so I really didn't garden with my parents because I was so afraid of Mr. No Shoulders. I've been crazy, scared of him all my life, and
Mhm.
I didn't want to do it. But my sister, she did work with my mother in the garden, and that's why she knows more than I know
Oh,
about a lot of stuff. But um, I just remember being out there sometimes, and Daddy he would pick corn, and they had potatoes, and they had butter beans and green beans, and you know, just I'd be at in the yard waiting until they come back because I was really probably too little when they would all be out there and probably would just be in the way anyway. So, but I wasn't out there that much with them when I was little. But I do remember those days when they were be out there just harvesting. It would be so much food, and those are the earliest memories that I have. And it was my parents, my aunts, and my uncles, everybody in my family. You know, I'm old school. I'm in my 50s. Okay, I'm gonna just
Mm-hmm.
go ahead and let y'all know I'm 54 years old. So, back in those days, like everybody in the family gardened, in which you may not have, somebody else in the family probably grew it, and they trade out.
Mm-hmm.
And
Supplement your income.
yeah.
Supplement your income.
so
Okay.
I had a question. So were y'all grown? Did you? Well, apparently, probably you live more in the country than in the city living.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So a lot of
Yeah.
people that in the city living, because I know, like I said, I seen my grandma with the hoe out there doing some little lines in the, but everybody I knew, I mean, they lived in town, in the city, so I didn't see much farming going on.
Yeah.
I see more canned goods or cans of things getting open. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Daddy
Mm-hmm.
had a tractor, and he would put that disc or whatever on the back of it,
Mhm.
and it would make 3 rows at a time.
Mm.
And he would just drag down through there and make his rows. And then they would come back do their fertilizer, then they would drop their seeds, and then they would close those rows up.
I
And
think that's the
days
coolest
later,
stuff.
That
yeah,
sounds like the Watermelon Wars queen to me. That nothing else sound.
That's kind of what trying to kind of draw me into Veggie Boys, because I love seeing the big tractors and the different machines and the things that you use on a farm. I didn't know none of this stuff, so I
didn't know how they got all this stuff done.
Like when they're setting, like the tractors up high, but then they set down for they can plant each one of the plants in there and all. And I was like, this is so cool. I've never seen that stuff.
Yeah,
no,
it is amazing.
We're gonna take a quick.
Amazing. I love it.
We're gonna take a quick break. So, J. Monique, my answer is sometimes you can't convince a person. You got to show them better. You can tell them. So, if you're growing food, keep growing food. And if you're a praying person, just pray. Cause listen, I told. So the other day, my mama said, "You know what? The Lord let me remember that the doctor said XYZ." I said, "Well, I'm glad it was the Lord that showed you, because every time I told you, you looked at me like I was stupid."
She wasn't receiving it from you.
No, she didn't. And so sometimes, instead of us trying to make people understand,
right,
you just got to keep doing it, and then show them the fruit of the labor. Because sometimes they just looking at, oh, now they buying freezer bags, now they buying this, and now they buying that. But honey, time is a teacher. That's all I'm gonna say. Food for forest permaculture, I think you gone already, but I hope you are safe. Sylvia said, I pulled a pot of beans. They stopped producing and found leaf nematodes in the roots. I had to trash the whole. Oh Lord.
Yeah.
You can't do that. We don't want that. Yeah, so that's my thing. I'm just like, just do what you're gonna do. If you're gonna plant a garden, plant a garden. If you got to do it in pots because you don't want to argue about digging up the yard, plant your pots. But I'm saying plant your pots, but be faithful in it. If they see that you're not faithful, it's the same thing they tell you in Mary Kay or any kind of MLM or whatever you want to sell on the side or your business to get your spouse into it. They got to see not only you be faithful in it, but they got to see a return in it. They think they talk about nematode spray. Charlene Cooper. Both my grandparents farmed their land and raised their families on homegrown food mostly. And that's the thing. Because Lisa ain't that much older than me. I'm 50. So, but my parents left the South and went to the city. But if I had to stay South, I'm pretty sure I can almost guarantee we'd have had a garden, right? Because my cousin up the road in Hurstboro, they family had a big old farm. They had all kind of stuff. And then at his house where he grew his kids, raised his kids, he had his garden, so it was what people did to supplement what they had and get what they needed. And some of us that's struggling in the city, we struggling, but if we had a garden too and ate what we grew, it may relieve some of this that you feeling in your pocketbook. I'm just saying, it just may. Long as you ain't like
you have to, in these days, everything is so expensive when you are gardening, like soil, everything is so expensive now. But it still is better for you to go ahead and try to grow your own than
because it's
going to the store.
Yeah, because it's a one-time expense. I mean, I ain't gonna say it's a one time. If you have one pot and you fill that one pot, you don't have to keep filling that pot. And then you fill that other pot. You don't have to keep filling that pot. You may have to amend it. You may have to do it, but you don't have to keep buying soil. So like you said, you have that first initial investment. But that's why I say be faithful to it. Learn how to maximize your growth space. Serena's asking, where is Four Seasons Garden? Jackie is not here. She is enjoying her weekend. And Donzel says, where's Shelly? Shelly is in the garden with her husband. See, that's why I say the married people ain't here. They got stuff to do. And look, and obviously Lisa and Cynthia had something to do too, because I was the only one sitting here like, y'all, I'm here, and I'm gonna talk to they again.
I'm sorry.
Oh, but I'm glad y'all came on in. All right, so Lisa talked about her garden memory. So when you started gardening yourself, what is your memory of the one thing that made you want to quit or think it was too hard for you to do?
I mean, okay, the first year I gardened, I started in like late spring, early summer 2020. Our job, like COVID had come in and our job was only having us work every other day. So
Mm-hmm.
I said, I got to do something. My sister had not moved here yet. I was here alone. And I said, I got to find something to do with my time, while I'm home. I can't go to stores. I just have to find something to do. So I started gardening and had no idea what I was doing because when my parents was doing it, I wasn't out there that much. And then as I was a teenager and they were still gardening, I didn't want to do that. I was young and dumb and I didn't want to do that. So I was learning on the fly and I bought a some tomato plants. I had one garden bed. Somebody a church member had built me I think it was a 3.5 or 2.5 or 3 foot by 6 foot wooden garden bed, and I had maybe one pot, and I put all my seeds and all my plants in that bed, and like the one pot, I had a 6L tray of tomatoes. I put them all in that one pot, not knowing that those plants were going, they were better boy tomato plants, and they got huge. And
Wow.
I found more hornworms that summer. I pulled, I think, about 12 hornworms off of that tomato plants. I had them in there. They were too big for that pot. They were too big. But that was the scariest things, finding all them worms. But I kept going. I kept going because watching those seeds break that soil, that was just amazing to me.
Amazing. Amazing. So God's Desire said her tomatoes didn't produce because it was too hot. See, then all you knew was your tomatoes weren't doing nothing. And that year we had the smoke. Y'all remember we had the smoke from Canada and Michigan?
Yeah.
All that smoke was coming down. And we had some really hot days. And for some reason, I think she thinks she muted, but she ain't. I muted her.
My bad.
It's not right. I was just like, wait a minute, what is that? But they came in and that he came in. And I was like, why ain't nothing growing? It was growing here. Now ain't nothing happening. I don't understand. I'm watering and I'm fertilizing. And then I read something. I was like, I thought tomatoes and peppers liked heat. Not that excessive heat, it don't. Now when you didn't have 5 or 6 days, especially up here, 5 and 6 days of 90 and 100 degree, we ain't used to that. We ain't used to that. But yeah, that'll make you want now. Sylvia said, and I hope I'm saying your name right because Cynthia corrects me every time. When it was 120 outside and I had to go out and water and the plants were drooping and I was ready to quit, the plants was drooping, honey. You was drooping. Elliot said, I started gardening in 2020. I desperately need a distraction as I work in healthcare. My garden has gotten bigger each year since.
Yeah. Me too.
I can imagine. I can imagine it being a place of solitude and peace. Zoe has to go. Have a good night. Happy gardening to you as well. All right. So back to Miss Lisa. So what was one of the things that made you think, oh my God, I can do this? Other than going back after you saw them hornworms.
Those seeds, when those seeds germinate, that still today amazes me and excites me. When I'm starting seeds in the house, or if I start them outside, that amazes me. A little seed that can grow, a tomato seed can grow to be a plant that could potentially be 16 feet tall and produce me so many tomatoes. That amazes me. That's like the works of God is like so amazing to me.
And as a Ruby Kid saying, who wouldn't serve a God like that? I told y'all. See, here we go again. GT, get ready for your when you share it, you can add your little caption. When y'all go to Genesis, I'm gonna go ahead and go to Genesis. I'm gonna read it for you because some of y'all don't believe it's in there. I think some of y'all think I'm playing, but some of y'all that read Genesis, y'all know it's in there.
Go ahead.
But I'm gonna go ahead. So I ain't gonna read all the Genesis to y'all, but we're gonna start in chapter 1:11. And God said, let the earth bring forth grass and herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth. And so it was. And the earth brought forth the grass and herb yielding seed after his kind, and the tree yielding fruit, because the tree ain't gonna give you something. You ain't gonna take no apple seed and get an orange from it. I don't care what nobody say. After his kind, and God saw that it was good. Now, it goes on in another part. Maybe it's not that part. It's not in this part of Genesis. But it brings forth its own kind. That seed got. When you start talking about seed is a very powerful thing.
Yeah.
That's why they call, how do I want to say this that makes sense and it won't be offensive to some of y'all? When you take the seed of a man and put it with the seed of a woman, you get a human being.
Yep.
And to think that something that small can be a person of size, the same thing happens in the earth. And it's been that way since God set it in order. And it's going to be that way until he come back. I don't care what people doing. Y'all can
and just like in a squash, like the male flower has the pollen, and the bee come and take it and put it over into the female flower, and then out comes a fruit.
Speaking of naivete, because Cynthia said she didn't pay attention, all she knew that they was putting stuff in the ground getting food back. I always wonder why they always talk about the birds and the bees. I said, why they always talk about sex in the birds and the bees? Well, when I learned that you have male parts of flowers and female parts of flowers, and then the bees and the birds are the pollinators, I'm like, oh, I didn't know. You don't know what you don't know. Yeah. I didn't know. But anyway, listen. Best feeling in the world is to see a seed become something. I wish I could bottle up that kind of energy. You better say it, Ellie. That one seed can produce an abundance. Come on. Oh, you all want to show? Thank you. All right.
Faith, especially like the mustard greens, cabbages, the little bitty, the little bitty
seed, strawberry seed. That strawberry seed, girl. super small, but can produce so much.
Mhm.
Produce so much. So we talked about has your garden become the vision that you have in your head yet?
No.
Okay.
For right now is all I can manage.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm all the time. I have 4 beds sitting in my den right now. I need to put together. And I
You
am
replacing some beds or are you expanding?
expanding. One was gifted to us
Mm.
of a Jacob bed was
Hey,
gifted
sweet
to us.
thumb.
And I just I don't know.
Ooh,
I'm
I don't know
expanding
why you
and
said raised
I'm
bed. Now I'm
always
thinking.
expanding, but I'm all and Cynthia know it's like I need more. I need more. But
Right.
I got all I can manage right now.
Right.
But I'm all the time thinking I need more. Like I went to Tractor Supply the other day and they got cattle panel on sale
Yep.
and sister was buying cattle panel because she wants her blueberries to grow on that. And the blackberry, the black no, not the blueberries, the
Mm-hmm.
blackberries to grow on that because ours is out there is a mess out there right now the way it is. So we want cattle panel for it to grow up instead of all over the ground making new plants.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But
Okay, so
it's expanding all the time.
say so
Mm-hmm.
it's not there yet, but you're still working on it. You're
Yeah,
still working on it. You said it's all you can handle. Do you think if you were to retire today, you could handle it?
yeah,
Uh-huh. So it's more of a time issue, not a
yeah.
lack of energy issue.
It's
Okay.
8 hours a day for 5 hours, 5 days. I'm sitting at work
And
where,
mad about it. The way she said it. And I'm just the imagination about it. She don't go back to Tuesday. But the whole look on her face said, ugh, that's a waste of my time. I could be in the garden.
yeah, it's my stress relief. It's therapy for me.
Mm-hmm.
My
Yeah.
garden
Mm-hmm.
and my job is not.
I
But
know
I
that.
do know two people that are gardeners and they, work from home and they still don't get much time in their garden.
Yeah, because you still got to put your time in at home.
Mm-hmm.
My sister
Um,
works home.
let's answer some of these. Is
Mm-hmm.
Shelly? I don't know where you was earlier, but Shelly's in the garden with her boo. Oh, with the higher help,
Yes, yes.
and Jacqueline is off for the weekend. Actually, Shelly's coming in. J Monique said. J Monique said that made me cry. Listen, J Monique, I'm gonna tell you something I heard last week. I heard 3 sermons on the same thing. Don't quit. Don't give up. What you're going through is necessary. God ain't forgot about you. He's building something up in you. You stay the course. Don't you quit. It may be hard, but it ain't gonna always be hard. Okay. Just a summary. I can't send you all 3 of them sermons. I don't even have them to send you. But I'm just telling you, don't quit, don't stop. Don't stop. Keep moving. All
Hey,
right.
Shelly.
And he ain't forgot about you. He don't forget about us at all. CVS says her don't look like it look, but she has help from the squirrels and the birds. I had never had issue with squirrels till I decided I was gonna plant garlic, and we ain't gonna talk about that fiasco. Cause anyway, all right. Sylvia says she's happy to be retired, so her job is going out in the morning for about 4 hours. I love this job. All right
Mm-hmm.
now. All right. So, I'm trying to see if I'm gonna bring Shelly up to speed. Then I'm gonna try to ask y'all the same questions. And Cynthia, I'm gonna have you start thinking about the questions I asked you because I don't know if I'm gonna remember all them questions. All right, Shelly, welcome to the broadcast.
Hey y'all.
Hey, girl, they've been asking about you.
Thank y'all. I miss y'all too.
Are you still outside, Shelly?
Got excitement in that boy.
The hired help had me working late tonight.
Oh, did he?
He did. We'll be back out there tomorrow.
You gonna have me out here by myself.
Listen. See, because I could have been like, no, I got to go do this 8 o'clock live.
But
when you've been married 35 years,
you know how you know to pick your battle, don't you?
Yes, ma'am.
You got to pick that battle, girl. Listen,
yes, ma'am. I was not doing that tonight.
No, you don't do that. Don't do that on my account. Somebody asked a question about marriage earlier, and I was like, girl, you got the 3 single ladies. I don't know.
Oh, what was the question? Counselor Shelly is in the house now.
The question was, I'm not gonna try to scroll back. It's a lot that happened. But the question basically
the person
was,
who asked the question, they can retype it.
Yeah. Go ahead and retype your question, Monique. Shelly, introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. My name is Shelly from Shelly's Homestead, Hideaway, where I am gardening in Zone B in Maryland, in the gorgeous Prince George's County. And I am growing in raised beds, grow bags, pots, self-irrigated planters, and whatever else I can find to grow in. Thank you, Donzel. I'm not sure what you congratulate me on, but thank you.
Oh, because you mentioned
maybe the 35 years?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yes, our anniversary was just May the 12th. So we literally just crossed the 35-year threshold. And I am contemplating doing a celebration later in the year. We celebrated quietly.
All right. GT said, what zone again? 7?
I'm in zone 7B, my brother.
All right. So
I got to get to Alaska.
Did you make you a slideshow or anything? Shelly?
I did not.
She has that fast.
No, so they're gonna get these stories is what they're gonna get today.
Okay.
In Jesus' name. It's all right.
Amen.
Okay, here she goes. She just started a patio garden. And she said, I think your original question is, what can I do to what could she do to get her spouse on board to see the value in gardening? Now I told her, I said, now you got single people, and my answer may not work for your marriage. Because she told me the answer anyway. So let me tell you what my answer was. Can I tell you my answer? I told her, I said one is to keep gardening. If you already gardening in the space, keep gardening, be faithful to it. You can't make anybody be on board, but when you show them you're serious about it and that you're not just growing food, but you're eating food and they're enjoying the food, they will begin to see that it may be worth it. Also, pray on it. Because you can tell them all day long, but when the Holy Ghost revealed it to them, then they know it. So that was the 2 things that I basically said. So you want to share?
That was good. That was real good, Cheetah. And what I can add to that is grow stuff that he likes. Because if you grow stuff that he likes and he enjoys when you bring it in from the garden, the chances are more likely that he will hopefully get involved in it. Now, in my case, my husband was already interested in gardening. He was already doing some gardening on his own. And let him tell it. If you watched part 1 of Setting Up My Sips, he will tell you that he was gardening first. Don't believe the hype. I've been growing since I was a little girl, off and on with my parents. Period. No cap.
Let her tell it. Let her tell us. All right. Let me see. The first question was, well, you already just said it, but I think you already told the story, but tell it again. We were talking about the earliest gardening memories, whether it was growing with grandparents, parents, people you saw growing food, growing up. What was one of your earliest gardening memories?
Is that for me?
Yes, that's for you.
That's a hard one. That is a hard one. And I say it's a hard one because my great grandparents and great grandparents were actually sharecroppers. My great grandmother, who lived in Brandywine, Maryland, raised my aunts and uncles there. I'm pretty certain she had a garden, but I was so young then. But I can definitely say, and there's a picture of my dad on my community in the garden, and so I was probably a toddler because I don't remember how old I was, but I remember that picture. I remember all growing up, my mom doing a garden in the backyard, and it was a simple garden. It wasn't anything fancy. It may have been just a couple things that she liked to grow and that we liked to eat. I say we, like I was the one paying the bill. But what's interesting is I didn't know it was a community garden until I got older and I started seeing those lots with the garden plots in there. And then it brought back to my memory. I was like, oh, we used to do that. So we had a community garden. I didn't know that's what it was called, but we had one. Let me see I can't even tell you because I was just too young to remember what age I was.
But that's fair. That's fair. When you started gardening, I don't know if this is the next question, but it's the next question I'm gonna ask you. When you started gardening? Oh, I don't know. This is I'm gonna let you answer. How you can answer? She said, "Spit it out." When you started gardening, what was one of the things that was the hardest thing for you that made you think I may not want to do this?
Hold on, babe.
Which factor do you want?
It doesn't matter. Sorry, y'all.
Yes, sir.
And chicken thigh.
Green chili and chicken thigh is fine.
That sounds good to me.
No, I don't want that one. The first one. He's asking me what I want to eat because we haven't eaten all day. So that's really an interesting question. And I say that because my husband was doing the vegetable gardening earlier on in our marriage, while I was more interested in doing the flowers. So I started learning what the flowers, were. I could name flowers. I could go to a nursery and be like, oh, this is this and this is that. And my son would go and he enjoyed it. And so because I already had experience with vegetable gardening, I can't say that I ever felt like it was something that I couldn't do. I think more so the garden that I have developed this year is something that I never thought I would have, not because I couldn't do it, just because, oh, you're so sweet. Thank you, babe.
Hello, everyone.
My husband said, hello, everyone.
Hey, brother.
She said, hey, brother.
Hey, sister.
He said, hey, sister.
You feeling better?
I
ain't coming in front of the camera, but
he said, you feeling better? He not coming in front of the camera.
I would if I had some chili. What is that? Chicken thigh?
Oh, this is green chili queso and chicken thigh fusilli.
That's all right. I'm doing good.
This is Chat and Chew, so it's right on time.
I'm doing good. I had cereal for dinner.
Oh, whoa! Breakfast of dinner of champions.
You know what? Don't be playing with me.
Goodbye.
We should have asked him a question. That's what we should have did. Where was I at? Oh, so I was saying that it wasn't so much that I didn't think that I could do it. It was that I never thought I would have the garden that I have today. And I'm so grateful for it. And it goes to the point of thank you passionately. I will tell him you said hello and hello back. And so you guys are going to start seeing more of my garden as it is now. now that I have posted the second part of that video. But when I tell you I'm in love with my garden, I am in love with it. And I gotta give my hubby, the hired help, major kudos, because we might be out there arguing back and forth about how something is going to get done, but eventually it gets done. And he also looks out and says, it's beautiful. And when I hear him telling other people, oh, come on over and see the garden, see what Shelly's done, I know that he's proud of it, even though we be fighting over what's going to get done and how it's going to get done. And then he brings me dinner.
I started watching part 2 on the way to church. Or was it on the way from church? Girl, this day.
Must have been on the way from church. I just posted it this evening.
Sure, okay. That's all the way from church then. I don't know. Girl, listen.
Did you go to an evening service?
I did.
Okay, well, maybe you was on your way to church.
Yeah, so.
You have some answers in the chat as well.
There's some answers in the chat.
Thank you, Donzel.
Shawnee says earliest garden memory, shelling peas, pepper, green beans. Yep. Going out to pick corn and shucking at grandmama's house. Listen.
I love shelling. Well, not shelling. I like snapping green beans.
I would not grow green beans
because I would eat them as I was snapping them.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yes, ma'am. Girl, raw green beans?
Yeah, my grandbaby loves raw green beans.
My daddy eat raw ones, but he won't eat cooked ones.
You haven't tried raw green beans, Lisa?
I have to try it. We had you try okra last year.
And I have been hooked ever since.
Yeah, my grandbaby, when she came over a few days ago, and we harvested green beans out there.
Lisa lose power. It got dark.
I know, it is dark.
Indeed.
I could not eat cereal for dinner either. I barely want to eat cereal for breakfast.
Maybe she's gonna come back. Maybe
that was a dinner that did not need preparing, and I could eat it when I came online. Then as I was sitting there eating, I was like, "Girl, I think it's a leftover ribeye in the refrigerator."
Yeah.
Let
me tell you, I can eat breakfast food for dinner any day.
See, I can't.
But it would not be cereal.
But I would eat cereal if I'm gonna eat a breakfast at night. It would be cereal.
No, ma'am. I need some grits.
Usually be some eggs,
some bacon, some pancakes.
It's usually an egg sandwich. It's usually an egg sandwich for me. Fried egg sandwich with that good old. Y'all ever try that garlic butter from Sam's? Toast that bread in that garlic butter. I forget the name of it.
I don't belong to Sam's. They have a garlic butter.
Yes, girl.
You can just make your own garlic butter.
I was going to say I'm gonna make my own garlic butter because
I'm not about to buy no garlic.
Okay, it's garlic butter, but it got Parmesan and herbs. So when you make
put
it,
some Parmesan and herbs in it.
That's what I'm saying. When you make it, put some Parmesan and herbs in it. But I got a tub in my refrigerator, so I'm not making none. That makes sense.
Afterwards.
Yeah, Stephanie, raw green beans are delicious.
Like I probably won't, but anyway.
But that's what I was saying with my grandbaby when she came over and she was eating all the different things, her cucumbers and stuff, and she ate the raw green beans. My daughter was like, "Mom, she just ate the raw green beans. Is it okay? She ate it raw?" I said, "Yeah, she can eat anything out the garden raw." And she was like, "I didn't know she liked raw green beans." I said, "Because you never offered it to her." So she, kids just gonna eat and they don't know. Oh, I gotta get it cooked first.
Fresh. Let's be clear. It's got to be fresh green beans, not them green beans out the freezer. Out
the garden, fresh out the garden.
Okay, Lisa's power went out.
Okay.
Yeah, she sent a text. She said they got an electrical storm.
Oh.
All right.
So what other questions did I miss? I missed y'all so much. The whole time I was out there, I was like,
the other question was, now what was, you said you really didn't have a moment where you feel like you couldn't do it. So what was the thing that you grew or the thing that happened in your garden, whether it was the flower or the vegetable garden, that made you think, oh my God, I can do this and I can really do this?
I'm going to say that's going to probably be this year too.
Them seeds, turn them seeds.
Not that part, but that's a good
Oh.
one. No, it was growing the garlic. Because when I did garlic last year, it was not successful. Lasagna with eggs and bacon. Hey, make it do what it do. So yeah, the garlic this year, baby, my garlic is looking so good. I will be heartbroken if I go to pull that garlic up and it looked like some trash.
Don't you got like another few weeks though, right?
Yeah, but I got garlic scapes out there. It's starting to. I didn't even cut the garlic scapes off yet because I didn't want to cut them off and waste them. But yeah, things are on and popping in my garden.
I took mine as far. Welcome back. I took mine the last year and some of them with the waste, but the other ones I just washed and cut them up and use them like green onions. Some people dehydrate them and make onion powder. I mean garlic powder.
Now you know what I was devastated over was last year my brassicas, my collard greens and kale that I had a ton of. The cabbage worms got to them and decimated them. And I was like, oh my goodness, like I cannot do this. But I stuck to it. I went ahead and stripped the plants down with the exception of the, center part. Yeah. I put I think I did some BT spray on them and I put the netting back over it and they grew back. But my very first harvest was like 14 pounds of greens. Like, I was like, what? Now this year I have not put a netting over my kale and collards. I have been intentionally companion planting with the hopes of deterring the pests. Mm-hmm. So I have put in, and I have a video on it, so I'm not even going to go on and on about it here, but I am companion planting to deter pests this year.
Okay. So, geez, Cynthia, that's where I need you to come in. What's the other question? Now, who was your first garden friend?
Yeah.
Outside of your family, Shelly and Lisa, same question. Who was your first garden friend? That person you could talk to, not just a person that'd be like, yeah, but somebody you like already growing stuff or love to talk the garden with you.
Go ahead, Lisa.
Oh, okay.
Both of y'all.
Well, my sister was still in Florida living when I started gardening. And so we would be back and forth, texting or FaceTime or whatever. But here, like I said, it was COVID. And it was an older lady in our church. She was actually our pianist. And she was always gardening. And so when I told her that I was gardening, then she would call me every day. What's changed? What has grown? What you got going? And so we would talk every day on the phone, Okay. And then one day she put on her mask and came down and we sat out there. And she helped me separate some stuff. And she just kind of coached me through it, through my first season.
That's good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let me tell you how I read this so wrong and was about to get a little offended. Y'all see, that's why reading is fundamental.
Yeah.
Let me go here.
Texas, you get offended the first time you read it.
Says, hello, everyone from Texas.
Hey.
And I'm like, I ain't from Texas, so you ain't speaking to me? And I'm like, that's not what they say.
Don't acknowledge them. No.
They said, hello, everyone. And they from Texas. I'm like, girl.
You could read that either which way, honestly. We ain't mad, Texas.
I'm just sitting there like, wait a minute. I'm so confused. I need to go to sleep. Because I'd have caught that earlier on. But it took me a minute. I'm sitting there reading it like, I don't understand why it's the Texas.
Don't be easily offended.
Girl.
Like I said, if you get offended when you first read it again and make sure you understood what you read.
Girl. I ain't gonna be no keyboard thug. So
my answer to that question is hard.
Outside of your boyfriend, I mean your husband, I mean the higher help.
Hey, all of them names, honey. Okay, I can give you a few more names, but you don't want to hear them.
No, I don't. I don't. Don't make me throw up.
That's a hard one because we've been gardening so long. You and I, Rashida, have a mutual. Although you don't know her in person, I do know her in person. But I wouldn't say that she was the first. I'm going to have to say the first person who I really started talking to gardening about that was into gardening too is Rashida. And then I had friends after that who became involved in gardening. And so now I have several friends. So Rashida Monique, you get the privilege of having be my first gardening friend that I could really just talk about gardening.
So have y'all met in person before?
Heck no.
But we've known each other over 20 years.
And it's so funny though, because
I
went back through an old email.
And never met. Why?
I was looking for.
She live in Michigan. I live in Maryland. That's why.
It's a plane away. What is going on there?
We just never did.
No,
so we
met two grown people that ain't met.
We met online.
Gotta go all over the place to go meet people.
This is so funny. I was going through my email and I was looking for an old church program. And when I typed in Mother's Board Tea and I saw Shelly Cat Eyes MD, I said, what is she?
I helped you proof that thing.
You remember when you helped me do them tickets?
Yeah.
I gave them tickets to work, and she's like, Rashida, just send it to me. I'm gonna fix them tickets and send them back to you. Like
we family for real, but we don't know each other in person.
I can't believe that.
Listen,
y'all don't even understand the strength in my internet relationships. Y'all don't understand.
I have people. Were related almost.
No.
So, true story. Lisa, I don't think you were on my live when I was doing gardening after dark. And I was saying to Rashida, your brother, and Donzel, I believe, made a comment about my husband being Rashida's brother. And I had to make it clear that no, they're not brothers.
I really thought that was her brother.
Or no, because that's what they've called each other for years. My husband makes friends with my friends. And when I tell you we be on FaceTime talking and they be talking to each other.
Because he crazy and I'm a little crazy. So
but ladies, seriously, all this time, y'all ain't the tickets ain't never been cheap enough for y'all to meet up. Shelly and all your RVing.
First of all, Cici, why are you judging us?
I don't understand.
I am.
There's no reason for you to judge us because guess what? We are okay.
How can you really be friends? Now y'all just internet friends.
Listen. Let me tell you, when the good Lord joins two people in spirit, it does not matter if you meet them in person.
I went to church with Shelly over this good old internet during the pandemic.
Yeah.
And her pastor was like, "Oh, I like you." I was like, listen, y'all know, I want y'all to understand. I got some internet friendships that are stronger than people I've met in person.
Wait, what did you say?
I have some internet friendships that are stronger than people I've met in person.
Facts.
It could just be me. I don't know. I hear that thunder, and I like thunder, but good night.
That's what's going on here in North Alabama.
Rashida and I have known each other virtually for 20 years. Because it's 2025 right now. We have known each other.
No, it's almost 20 because I didn't go natural to 2009. So we ain't quite 20.
Oh, so you okay?
It's more like
I'm
15.
thinking you and I started on naturality in 2000 together.
Mm-mm.
Cynthia is still amazed.
I'm just,
I am too.
see,
I'm
I
like,
see
I can't
no,
believe
no excuse because I have. No,
Hey,
I
Triple
meet
B.
other folks. I fly places. I try to, because if we friends, we
Listen,
friends. I want to see you. I want to talk to you. I want to be like, hey.
About time. Listen, I'm a woman of a limited amount of means. By the time I went to Mary Kay, church convention, family stuff, this, that, and the other, I'd be like, I don't even think about, hey, y'all want to meet somewhere? Y'all even cross my mind.
We're gonna meet in person one day, though, Cici. Don't worry.
In heaven, huh?
And what?
Girl, shut up. Don't meet her forehead because in heaven, I ain't gonna know nobody.
Right? Did she say in heaven? Girl, I'm about to smack you.
But anyway, what's another question that we talked about? Y'all didn't went on. What else did I ask you, Shelly, Cynthia?
Huh? What? Sweet Thumb, what you saying?
What?
Sweet Thumbs, my big bro was internet fam, but some folks got a lazy eye the camera don't catch. I don't understand that.
Mm-hmm.
Explain.
Anyway, I don't even know. I just was gonna keep on rolling.
Right, because I'm sitting here like, I know Cynthia's not sitting here trying to judge us.
Girl, I ain't even tripping.
I'm just saying.
You ain't saying nothing.
I'm just saying.
You ain't saying nothing.
I'm saying.
What's the other question I asked you? That's what I want you to say.
That was the one that hung me up on with the other one.
The first garden friend.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's probably was about it. Is it 10 o'clock, y'all?
Almost 9:52.
Almost.
I'm so happy I was able to get on here with y'all for a little bit of time.
I'm glad you was too, because you were missed.
I'm so happy to know I was missed.
People were asking where you was.
Mm-hmm. Oh, just saying, you got to put your eyes on people.
Right.
That's what I do to say to some people. I need to hug your neck.
Yeah.
My phrases. Oh, that's funny. Let me see. I don't know. What else y'all want to talk about these garden memories?
I think a lot of the things that we deal with in the garden now, I don't think our parents had to deal with it. Like this heat, I don't remember it being like 110 degrees and all that back when I was little. And because my parents, they didn't use shade cloth and all that.
And that's what I agree with you on that, Lisa. It's hotter now. The environmental issues are real.
Are different. And then where the garden is located.
I feel like back in the day, our parents didn't garden with all the things that we're doing, like all these fertilizers. They ain't do all that. We doing too much.
They also didn't grow all these fancy plants and stuff that we trying to grow. It was the basic, the cucumber, the green bean, the basic stuff. We trying to grow all this tropical stuff, this stuff that's not in our climates and all kind of stuff. And we growing all year. You didn't see them like growing all year long.
Or like, I got kids. We gonna can these tomatoes and we're gonna get in this house for the winter. That's what we do.
There was an end date. And now, especially if you're in the South, it's no end date. When do you stop gardening? Never.
No, you don't.
It's all
just one season run right on into the next.
It just run to the next one. You don't get a break.
Don't even get a grinder break. Nope. I do want y'all, if you're watching whatever channel you're watching on, remember to thumbs up the video. If you're watching the replay on anybody's channel, thumbs up. And if you are really got a few minutes, go to all 4 channels or 5, the 4, and thumbs up the video on everybody's channel. I try to do that at the day after. Go to everybody's channel and thumbs up the video.
Yeah, I try to do that.
Sometimes I'll go in and watch a few minutes of everybody's video. I don't know if it helps y'all or not, but I just figure if I watch a few minutes, there's a few minutes that's on your watch time. I don't know. I don't know how it works.
Oh, really, sweet thumb.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to grow an orange tomato. I was not successful last year.
You know what? I'm gonna stay away from these fancy tomatoes.
You gonna stay away from what tomatoes?
These fancy tomatoes, as far as they got all these little colors. Well, I ain't gonna say that. Let me stop.
I'm trying to it's the heirloom.
I got some seeds.
Accordion.
Okay, let me go back because I was about to tell a lie. I got some seeds.
You got every seed.
I was disappointed in my tomatoes that grew a different color and they taste like a regular red tomato. And eventually if I don't get a tomato that tastes different than the other tomato, I'm gonna be mad, y'all.
Wait, who had that
Kermit the Frog, and I'm gonna have a whole fit in the garden.
Who else had that revelation last year?
Was that me?
It is pouring down over here.
No, I think it was Cici or Lisa. Who grew all them tomatoes last year and they was like, I ain't doing it this year?
Lisa ain't gonna get as many.
I don't think I want to grow yellow orange tomatoes anymore.
Why?
Because they don't taste good to me.
Okay.
And I was growing because they don't supposed to be as acidic as like red tomatoes. So
okay.
My sister, I just wanted to grow them for her because she don't need all that acid either.
Okay.
But
hey, David,
we didn't like them, so.
There.
So, can we take a segue since we're talking about tomatoes and talk about the Cherokee Purple challenge?
No.
Is GT still on here?
No.
Nope. We ain't seen
it. We'll talk about it. No. He was earlier, but I don't know if he's still here.
I think he's at work.
He was there earlier, but I don't think he's here now.
He might be in the bushes. He be listening in the bushes.
Okay, maybe because I know after my video posted, I know he commented on it. Because at first I was confused. I was like, wait, what is the challenge for the Cherokee Purple? So it's to grow the biggest,
the heaviest one.
The heaviest. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what y'all plants is looking like. Mine ain't really looking too good.
I think mine died.
I just planted mine in the garden.
I don't know. It may be one of them tomatoes out there. I don't know. The label is there. I just have to find it.
Well, I have several. I have one.
Just took her tomato plant.
Huh?
Nothing. Y'all, speaking of Mr. No Shoulders, now let me segue. I'm rolling through my phone, minding my own business. Ooh. And I see this snake in 3 pieces, and I'm like, number one, can we get a trigger warning? This is number one. But number two, I said, Cynthia at it again. This snake didn't know that she gonna kill a snake.
She packed that thing up.
Ooh, she is brave.
Girl, let me tell you.
Did you post it on your channel?
No, I'm still figuring how I can do it in the most humane way possible that, you know, they don't be trying to take my channel.
Don't nobody come and
you know.
Oh yeah, well that's true too.
But my garden dog alerted me to that because I was like, what is wrong with you? Did you eat a bee or something? Because the way he jumped, and I was like, did you eat something? Or, you know, and then he like sniffed at the pot again. I was like, I knew, but I did not know it was gonna be that big. I was like,
why do you call it your garden dog?
My dog, the Domino.
Why do you call it your garden dog?
What you
why do you call it your garden dog?
Why do you call it your garden dog?
He be out there with her.
He be out there in the garden with me.
Okay, but that's not his only place he be.
Right, but I'm saying he be out there trying to harvest to eat more than I can get in the food. He want to eat all the greens, all the strawberries, all the everything. But he alerted
You
me
got
because
you a
the funny
domino
thing
bed.
is, I was standing there doing the video, and then that's when I seen him kind of jump, and I was like, "What?" I mean, the snake right behind me, behind the pot, but it was right behind where I was, and when I moved the pot, because he was like, something wrong, something wrong. I hear something, and when I moved the pot, and what it was is that I have netting over my strawberries. He had got stuck in the netting. I don't know how long he had been stuck in the netting. So he was mad. And all I could see was mouth open and was doing all this. I was like, oh no.
I don't even know that I would have had it in me to kill the snake.
What you did? Just ran away?
I probably would have.
That's what would be my first thing was to go the other way.
Who gonna come?
Hold on. Listen. Now, I ain't gonna talk too bad about my husband. But Rashida, you already know this story, I believe. When he thought he saw, I won't even say thought, he said he saw a snake in the garage. And we ended up with snake away and mothballs all over the garage.
All in the garden.
And I do mean all over the garage, to the point I could smell mothballs when I drove up in the driveway and the garage was still closed.
I don't mind the smell, long as it's going to deter him.
I never saw it. I was annoyed because there was snake away all over everything.
And it was no way of like, first of all, it was a yellow belly water snake. That's what I found out what it was, yellow belly water snake.
Let me tell you something. I don't know if I would be able to kill one. Y'all heard my story about me in the bed. I have been known, if it's me or you, I'm going to take you out, even if I got to scream while I'm doing it.
Right.
I'm going to take...
Yep. And I couldn't even I couldn't even help them out of the netting because that netting is made, to keep pests and things out of there. But it was, he came up one of them crawfish holes and he got
slid his butt up in there and couldn't get back.
I could not, because even after the situation, I could not pull him out of the netting. Like I had to take the whole netting. It would not, I couldn't get him out of it. I'm like, it was no way of, Yeah, that was something. That was something.
Yeah,
I had to see one that thick. He was a thick boy down, and he was not no garter snake. He was not, one little big water snake had got up in there.
If I'm ever on a place that need some missing no shoulders taken care of, I need Cynthia on my team.
Yeah.
L Triple G and Official Jamia. So she's talking about a snake. And I don't think there's a video.
It was in the group chat.
It's a picture.
In our group chat. And she can't post that, y'all. She can't post that.
Sweet Thumb, I don't think that snake was
what I can do is make
that mug is in thirds.
I can put him when he was alive, how he was acting. I can do that part. And then be like, he is no longer with us. He like, I was like,
say goodnight to the people.
Say goodnight to the people.
Yes.
And I didn't say goodnight to the people one time already this year, and I got it on video. My coworker was like, "Ew."
Hey, them hormones.
He could have got me because I was literally right in front of that pot. And if the dog hadn't, now I'm like, come on, Domino, come on to the garden.
But didn't you say your grandbaby had been out there the day before or something like that?
Day before, me, and that's the video I had posted with me and my daughter and the new grandbaby, and all of us was in the garden. And the thing is, I picked up the blueberry pot right next to the pepper pot where it was on the ground. So I don't know if he was there at the time, but I was like, all I needed.
Yeah, you should have chopped him up 2 more times. Just for that, for being out there when the babies was out there.
Listen, people be advocates for these animals. And this is what I'm saying. They don't have no pity on you when you in they domain. So
Right.
And I have it fenced where I make sure I try to fence all around in there so things can't get into the garden. But when they come up through the crawfish tunnels and everything, then they in there. And yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not afraid of snakes, and I have been letting the garter snakes and the garden snakes I've been letting them be there. Because I seen a mouse one time. I don't even know if the mouse there anymore, but I seen them, and so I'm like, I'm fine with y'all. Y'all have your little green stripes and stuff, whatever. Stay out the way. But that one was not the green stripe. That was no. He was thick. He was thick.
Oh,
Well, thank God for Domino. Y'all know I ain't a fan of the doggies either, but thank God for Domino.
Yeah, because he alerted me. I wouldn't know. I was right there.
Get a cat.
She said she
Get a cat
for 10 more chops.
Triple G, get a cat.
I'm not getting a cat because my garden is not a litter box. I would not. Nope. And Domino ain't having that. And I'm allergic to cats anyway, so no.
That's
Plus
funny.
it can't be there.
I'm not getting a cat or a dog.
So listen.
Yeah.
I hope y'all just
Closet
enjoyed
World,
us chatting
she
about
came
these
with
garden
a comment.
memories. What you say?
Clausen World.
What
You know, her channel, Clausen World.
Yeah.
She came on one of my videos and she said the neighborhood cats were coming into her greenhouse using the bathroom.
Nope.
They will.
Mm.
Nope. Can't do cats. They're not gonna be peeing on food and making their litter boxes.
Then they have to do a recall on your lettuce and stuff.
Right.
She had to call them people she gave that us away at the church. Be like, look, I knew I gave y'all some lettuce the other day.
Right. Don't eat it. The neighborhood cat came in here pissing everywhere. Don't do it.
That is interesting.
Mm-mm.
Oh my gosh, y'all, I'm super sleepy.
Okay.
So thank y'all for watching us talk about our garden memories. Anybody else got anything burning on their heart today? Burning testimony. Okay.
When's our next meeting?
All minds clear? Yes. Okay.
All hearts and mind clear. When's our next meeting? Because I feel like I might be traveling.
Huh. I know.
Let me look at this calendar.
Next month is my whole birthday month. So just like you know.
What that supposed to mean?
That means
that you're gonna be on this garden chat.
I may not.
Okay, it's June the 8th.
Huh?
I'll make you do some
June
homework.
The 8th.
The 8th and the 22nd.
I will be in Vegas on the 8th.
I want to go to Vegas.
Come on.
You going to South Carolina, Cynthia? Again this year?
I am not going to South Carolina. I will be in Louisiana during that time.
What part of South Carolina you be going to?
For the Art Fennell barbecue cook-off. In where is it?
Country style. Bennettsville.
Yeah, Bennettsville. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I've never heard of that.
Yeah. Little country town.
Okay, so yeah, I'll be in Vegas,
Louisiana family reunion this year.
I will try. Let me check. I'm not sure if there's an event going on. I'm traveling for a conference.
Okay.
But if I'm able to get on,
that'll be great. If you're not, that'll be great. Now, what day you say, Cynthia, you'll be gone?
What you said? On the 8th, I will be at a family reunion too, because they decided to put it on in the same month.
Okay, in the 22nd.
I don't know nothing as I know of.
Okay, well we'll just schedule them, and whoever show. That's what we.
Yeah.
I think that's what we do. I ain't gonna hold it up.
You can hold it down. You can hold it down. We seen you.
I think I'll be able to get on. I'm looking at the conference schedule. I could probably get on.
Somebody said Cici going to Mexico.
Nope.
People don't wait. I heard Vegas was empty. People don't want to spend it. Oh, I'm not going to spend no money. I don't gamble.
Me either. When I went there, I didn't spend nothing, not even penny slots. Like
I
they
have
didn't get my money.
Right. I have a notary business. I'm going to a notary conference that's going to be in Vegas this year.
Awesome. 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 Awesome.
Right.
So listen.
It's that time.
It's that time, y'all.
It's
We
the time.
gonna bid you guys good night. Thank you all for being here, for listening to us tell our garden memories and talk about the garden and all the things and the laughs in between. Thank you for joining us. We do not take it lightly. Thank you for watching, sharing, thumbs upping. I think when somebody kept going to the page and they put the name, I think they were saying they went to our page and thumbs up. So thank you. I don't know who that was, but I did see it, and we appreciate you so much for answering that call to action. But before we get off of here, I do want you all to know that you are blessed. You are highly favored. You're the apple of your Father's eye. He is absolutely and positively. Nope. It ain't there, Shelly. Shelly, you got it? Let's start over. You are blessed.
Like, wait, what's going on?
You are highly favored. You are the apple of your Father's eye. He is absolutely and positively concerned about you. He thinks that you are the best thing since sliced bread. You can cast your cares upon him and know that God cares for you and that he loves you with an everlasting love. And there's nothing and nothing you can do about it. You all have a wonderful and a blessed night. So we're going to see right here on June the 8th. Y'all pray for my brain. Because them words was gone. I'm like, wait a minute.
And I didn't heard that thing so many times. I still don't know it by heart.
And then I said, Shelly, she looked at me like, what? Bye, y'all.
Bye. Good night, everybody.